Thanks for joining us. This is Outlook Africa, a program that looks at socio-political issues in Africa and the Black diaspora. Today, we have the honor and privilege of welcoming Ms. Mary Ng, the Minister of Small Business, Export Promotion and International Trade here in Canada. Ms. Mary Ng, welcome to Outlook Africa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's my honor and privilege to be here speaking to you, Robert.
Thank you so much. Today, we want to get a deeper dive into the program that was recently launched by the government of Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. It's the Black Entrepreneurship Program. It's a program that will dedicate $221 million over the next 4 years towards improving and helping business formation among the Black people in Canada. Can you please let us know what are the next steps and maybe give us more information on this program and how it's going to evolve?
Yeah, of course, Robert. It is a really important program, and I'm very pleased, to be the minister responsible for small businesses and for the growth of small businesses in Canada. And what we have, of course, seen and what this program is intended to address is to bring about greater vibrancy and greater success, and to remove some of the barriers, indeed, I hope many of the barriers that stand in the way of our Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs to be successful. And what we've heard from businesses, from Black-owned businesses very particular, is that if I were to put it into sort of 3 categories, the first really are getting access to networks of support and the mentorship and the training and that kind of support that Black-owned businesses need to navigate and to help not only start their businesses, but to scale up and to grow their businesses. So that's sort of one issue we're heard. The other issue is getting access to capital, right? I mean, you need money to be able to start your business, but you certainly need capital to grow your business. And here, this program, in partnership with Canada's largest financial institutions, puts on the table some significant funding to help Black-owned businesses get access to funds for their business. And then the third thing that we heard is the need to understand better what really works and what really gets in the way. So, and to do this in an objective way, to collect data in an objective way. So that's what the third part is. So in fact, this program is a 3-component program, each incredibly important. And it was designed working hand in hand with those leaders, businesses who already are Black-owned businesses, and those that are supporting Black-owned businesses across the country. So I'm very excited about this, and certainly excited to get to work to make sure that this begins to work for our incredible entrepreneurs and businesses.
Now, the rollout of this program, from what we understand, $93 million will be coming from the federal government, and the rest will be provided by the financial institutions that you alluded to earlier. However, will the balance be government guaranteed? Because the concern is that if the bulk of the money is going to come from the financial institutions, maybe the criteria might be too onerous for small business, Black small business owners to qualify for. Is there something that the government will be doing to ensure that that the money eventually gets to Black business owners in a way that is not discouraging for them to apply?
Yeah. Well, that's a very important question, and what you've just talked about is at the very heart of what this has to be about. What I'm pleased about here is what I see to be a genuine collaboration, and it really needs to be a genuine partnership. So yes, on the loan fund in particular, there is just over $30 million that the federal government is putting in, and a significant portion, $128 million, are putting in by the financial institutions. But what's really important to this is that the portion of the funding, which is $53 million that the government of Canada is putting in, is actually to create an ecosystem. And that ecosystem is going to be absolutely made up of Black business owners, Black businesses, Black entrepreneurs, and those organizations that already today serve and will continue to serve Black-owned businesses in terms of developing that additional capability. So at the table, it really is going to require some of the very hard work that's going to have to take place, which brings together the views, the very real lived realities and the views of Black-owned businesses, and then the banks themselves, so that they can understand where those gaps are. So, and the government is there because government, government does not create businesses, right? We've got to create the environment for businesses to be successful. We also are not the money lenders. That's what banks and credit unions and financial institutions are there. But we really do have an opportunity to convene those people and organizations that serve exclusively Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs, and also creating a table that includes the financial institutions so we can actually work together to understand where some of those barriers are, how they exist today, and how we begin to remove them one by one with the right people at the table, which is Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs and those leaders on the one side of the table, and the financial institutions on the other side of the table, government also at the table, so that it really is industry and the community and government collaborating. And I hope that the outcome is, as you have said, which is to tackle the very real issues that are the barriers that get in the way, and to create some real solutions. But that those solutions are not, they're not the government saying that these are the solutions. It's not the criteria that the banks sort of say, this is how we do it. And it certainly is not just, the Black entrepreneurs and saying, look, we have these barriers we've got to get to. So I have to challenge all of us to really commit, both in our heart and in, with our pocketbook, but also with our smarts and with our capabilities to make this really solutions oriented, so that what you just said right there, which is the barriers that exist, the opportunities and those pathways, and that are there for Black-owned businesses, that they really are the economic contributors to our communities and to the Canadian economy. And let's do more to enable more of that to take place in our country.
Okay, so that's very encouraging. Some people might look at $221 million over 4 years and say, well, this is a start, okay? How do you ensure the continuity of programs like this so that it's not one of those reactionary things that happens just because it's trendy? We would like to see that this becomes a mainstay of in Canada, that there's a particular attention paid to those who historically have not been brought along, have been disadvantaged, so to speak. What is your government's plan to ensure the continuity of a program such as this? Because you cannot just end at $221 million over 4 years.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and which is what that third element I was talking about. I think it's really important. This government certainly makes decisions based on data, makes a decision based on on evidence. It's really important that we, right from the very beginning of a program like this, to also put significant investment. So $6.5 million is going towards a knowledge hub. This is a collaboration that is going to, that's going to have, academia involved, so that the research methodology is one that everyone can trust and that is sound and actually is a good foundation for that knowledge. Stats Canada, we will be participating and collaborating with Statistics Canada, and of course, at the very heart of this, the community. So the Knowledge Hub is going to help us understand and help the Canadian people, and to help Black-owned businesses and the community understand, what some of those things that work are, and therefore we should actually be making investments in those areas, that actually gets to better results in the future, but also understanding what those barriers are, and have we done a good job, or have we done a good job at addressing those? So that's why the program is comprehensive the way it is. So I believe that this is a start. So you start with bringing the community in, and those leaders in who actually who understand the realities of Black-owned businesses and building some capacity and support to support their success, making sure that there's funding available to fund and capitalize businesses. And then number three, to understand how it has been working, how it's working and how it needs to be guided by that data and by that work into the future.
Now, before you leave, because thanks for your time again, and I know you have a very busy day, but I can't leave you without asking you this question. Now, in the United States, there's something that has been implemented since 2000 called the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Why hasn't Canada implemented something similar that will encourage preferential trade between Canada and Sub-Saharan Africa so that tariffs are waived and it's not really just a resource-based relationship, but something a little bit deeper? And of course, that, in my opinion, would help Black and African people here in Canada also in terms of their overall economic state. Is there something in the works that would bring about such a program similar to the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act that exists in the United States?
Well, that's a very good question. I think that the way for me to answer this is to talk a little bit about the really terrific trade mission that I led to Africa just earlier in February. It was wonderful that we were able to do this because it was right before COVID-19 hit. For me, it was great to be back on the African continent again. The last time I was there was a little over 10 years ago. So to travel to Africa, to be in South Africa at Mining Indaba, to meet with the range of Canadian businesses that are operating in Africa as part of course, in resource development was very important, but also working with the Canada-Africa Chamber of Business so that we are working together to encourage a greater exchange of businesses between the two countries, looking at opportunities that are in Africa for Canadian businesses to do business in Africa, and the other way is what we have been working on. So I would like to think that where we are starting is where we have started, and where this work continues is is grounded in people. It's grounded in our close people-to-people ties. It's grounded in the business opportunities that the business community has already working on and continues to identify. But it is working in partnership with organizations like the Canada-Africa Chamber of Commerce. We've signed an MOU to be able to continue to do that work. It was a good trade mission, and of course I continue to do work with my colleagues on the continent. Canada certainly provided capacity building to the African Union as they put their own FTA, free trade agreement, together within the continent. So there is work to do, and it's exciting work. I'm looking forward to continuing that, and I think we're off to a start. But you're right, there is more to do, and there are opportunities. And I think that Canada is very well placed to do this. We have strong people-to-people ties. We have strong relationships with many of the countries in the African Union. We have presence already, and we contribute to, we contribute in sort of in many ways. So that work will have to continue.
Well, that's very good. That's a very good start. I hope that that will continue. Now, just finally, what are the next steps? What are the actual dates? Because the banks are saying they don't have any instructions so far and no money to disburse. What are the actual timeline for the rollout of the Black Entrepreneurship Program?
Yeah, very good question. We're working as fast as we can. The way I look at this program is that it's very important that we get this design right. I want at the table with me right away those organizations in the ecosystem that are comprised of the Black the Black business organizations, the sort of the ecosystem partners is what I call them. I want them to be in place. So the first order of business really is to make sure that we get them in place so that they are at the table with me. Of course, the banks are there, and I applaud their commitment to this, because I think that we all are working on this together. But I think that the very first order of business is to make sure that I get my ecosystem partners in place so that we walk the talk. Like, I mean, I don't want to begin to have, a dialogue bilaterally, if you will, with the banks. I want it to be together. I want us to start this and to start it together. So I must have our ecosystem partners in place. So that's where we're going to start. And I know people will say, well, that's going to take time for us to get the loans. They're right. It will. But it's because I want to do this right. And I want the Black-owned businesses and those organizations that represent them, and though as my ecosystem partners, to begin with us, and I want us to do it together.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mary Ng, for joining us today on Outlook Africa. It has been our pleasure, and we will follow up on this program to ensure that it is rolled out and it's effective for the people that it's intended to serve. Thanks again.
Indeed. Thank you so much. And please do. I look forward to coming back and talking about progress. And I think what you said is absolutely important. Making sure that this works for the people it's designed to work for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. So we just finished quite an interesting discussion with Ms. Mary Ng, the Canadian Minister of Small Business and International Trade. She was in here to explain to us the rollout of the Black Entrepreneurship Program, which is one of its kind program introduced by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau here in Canada to assist Black business owners to help with overcoming some of what one would consider systemic barriers to accessing financing here in Canada. We hope you enjoyed the topic, and we'll see you next time here on Outlook Africa.